Dober Dan, Zdravo, and Annyeonghaseyo. Hey, it's Tom from GreenShortz, and today I'm gonna do a boiling test on the Rocket King Micro. You've probably seen me do a fair amount of tests on the full-size Rocket King, but I haven't tested this one yet in terms of how long it takes me to boil some water. The Rocket King Micro was designed for a camping cup like this, which would not fit on the full-size rocket stove. A camping cup would slip down inside just like this. Although I did add the pot tab to the stove to address that. But the Micro was designed for this type of camping cup. So I'm gonna fill this up with 16 ounces of water. And then see how long it takes to bring this to a boil. Another thing I'm going to be testing today is my new version of the rocket booster. Initially, I was trying to do this out of soy wax and sawdust, and it worked great from a burn standpoint. However, they were not durable, very harder to make, and these fins wanted to break off really easily. So I just never shipped this because I just couldn't make it efficiently. But it did give me the idea of using a thinner cardboard, 2 layers of that are sealed with the soy wax. So still organic, still no residue left behind on your camping trips, but something that I can produce a lot more quickly. In fact, these are laser cut by my friend Chad over at Mancrafting. I'll put a link to Chad's channel here on YouTube in the description below. I'm gonna set up my fire. I usually start with the smallest sticks and I kind of stick them in this side and then tilt them down in the space between the fire floor and the corner of the stove there. That puts them right in front of the R where I'm gonna light it. Rocket booster sits right in there. I light it up. Fire is going to take a second to work its way inside. But that smoke coming from inside tells me that convection is already starting. The wax is going to help keep that cardboard lit just a little bit longer until we can get that fire going. There it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cup on top. No bubbling yet. Burning sticks and twigs this small is definitely a fire you want to tend. I left it for a second to grab my phone and it lost a little bit of its power, but just going back with the smaller sticks first and it'll reignite. Blowing on it lightly will also help with that. Use about a 4-inch length to go in here. seeing the beginnings of some bubbles here. What makes this green in my mind is that I can use this small found fuel that, you know, say I'm hiking on the trail, picking up a few sticks along the way, and then using those to boil my water when I get to the campsite. So not only do I not have to look for wood when I get to the campsite, but most of those campsites, you know, say on the AT or a place like that, they're pretty picked over in terms of firewood. Plus, if you get to the campsite and it's raining, you already have your firewood stashed away. I need to get out on the AT, which is near me. I live in Georgia, so Appalachian Trail starts just 50 miles away or so. I need to get this out on the trail and see how it actually works in the real world. A few more bubbles happening now. Sap cooking off. Good contact with the bottom of the pot. We're starting to get our boil going now. I haven't really used a whole lot of fuel either. Beauty of controlling the flow of the heat in the burn chamber there, controlling my air intake with buttons on one side, really lets me maximize the use of this fuel. Channeling all that heat right to the bottom of the pot. Nice little boil going now. I'm gonna drop in my tea bag. As I get toward the end of my boil here, I'm just gonna let this burn out. Push the rest of the sticks in. Nice rolling boil. I'll let this burn out just like this. The fire's out now, but the coals are still getting that airflow. You can see them kind of flickering in there. Even with the flame out, it'll continue to use these coals, leaving just the white ash behind. And I really didn't use more than a handful of fuel, ranging in size from the smallest of twigs to about the size of a pencil in terms of thickness. So if I were using this in a camping setting, I would probably pour that tea out or switch pots. I'm probably only carrying one pot with me though. Pour that water out and start a boil again so I can maximize those coals for rehydrating, camping food, making hot chocolate, coffee. All those things can be accomplished with this little stove here. In fact, one thing I did in the latest version of this is that I switched to 20 gauge, so which was very similar to the gauge that I used on the titanium. The titanium stove, which will eventually be for sale on my website, but not on Amazon, is about 7 ounces at this size. The micro, switching to the 20 gauge, takes that down to 14 ounces with the bag. So from about 1.5 pounds, I think, for the previous version of this. I know a lot of you that are hikers are looking for ounces. So 14 ounces here, that's a little bit over 2 pounds, the full-size Rocket King with the bag. And then of course the titanium is 7 ounces. So for you super hikers, every ounce counts. And again, this will be for sale in limited quantities just because it's a lot more expensive to make it out of titanium. As always, thanks to my patrons for helping make these videos possible. If you'd like to join me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, you can help support the production of these videos. I use that money to hire Jordan to come run camera, so that isn't just going in my pockets, it's going to help support a young videographer and help me produce videos more quickly. And I actually have some extra perks over there, a Discord channel, and some additional video content of what's happening here in my backyard laboratory. If you're interested in the Rocket King Micro, they are available on Amazon. Retail on this is $45 right now, and retail on the Rocket King full size is $65. So if you are interested in a piece of American-made kit for your camping and hiking adventures, and you want to know who made it, then you can check out the Rocket King on Amazon. So thanks for your support. As always, our mission at Green Shorts is to help you see green so you can be green, and save a little green by doing it yourself. Rocket stove is green because we're using found fuel and burning it very efficiently. So thanks so much for watching. Keep all the great comments and suggestions coming, and we'll see you next Saturday.